Hey guys, thank you for tuning into another video. I am the Eternal Ranger, and this is the Eternal Ranger Reviews. Sorry I've been away for the last few weeks. I've had some personal issues to deal with, but everything is all sorted out now, so we are back once again on track every Tuesday with a new Eternal Ranger review. Today, we're going to be looking at the S.H.Figuarts Ichigo Kurosaki Full Bring Bankai State, his Tensa Zangetsu. This is probably one of my favorite versions of Ichigo, mostly for the way he looks, for the way, Tensa Zangetsu looks. I will be reviewing the new Ichigo Kurosaki that comes out, his new Shikai state, when that comes out. So, stay tuned for that video. But, as of right now, let us begin by taking a look at the beautiful packaging first. So, let's get Ichigo out of the way here. Let's go right into the box here. As you can see, this is from Bleach, the beginning of the 1,000-Year Blood War. Ichigo Kurosaki, Tensa Zangetsu, other things that I cannot read. This is, of course, S.H.Figuarts, one of my all-time favorite toy lines to review, just to collect in general. You have a very beautiful picture of Ichigo in his full bring Bankai state. On the side of the box, you have, S.H.Figuarts, Ichigo Kurosaki. You have a little kind of a pixelated, blurry picture of Ichigo right here. On this side of the box, you have a nice side/back shot of Ichigo. Again, his name, Ichigo Kurosaki. On the bottom of the box, once again, his name, just in case you forgot it. And another gorgeous shot of him in his attack state. And on the back of the box, you have your standard product shots. You have your action poses. You have your standard standing pose, kind of a silhouette pose over here. Simple style and heroic action. A bunch of things that I cannot read. And caution, don't eat anything in this box. Very, very, very bad for you. It's made by Bandai Namco. Top of the box, just, his name, Ichigo Kurosaki. And that is pretty much it for the box itself. We will get into the accessories that come with Ichigo, but for now, let's step right into the actual figure. So, let's get this out of the way. And there he is, Ichigo Kurosaki in all of his standalone glory. So we're actually going to take the Zanpakuto out of his hand for now, and we're going to review this as a separate figure. So we're going to put that to the side, and we're going to look at just Ichigo himself right now. Now, as you can see coming right in, there is not a lot of paint on him. It's pretty much just standard black because of his outfit, his gorgeous jacket. I do like that they actually cut it into 3 separate pieces. I forget in the show if it's actually in 3 separate pieces, but it's this nice, rubbery plastic material. One side is black, one side is white. There is no, in between. So I guess you could say that the white... No, I wouldn't even say that's painted. It's just regular plastic, and it's just connected right into his chest. You have the detailing in his legs to make it seem like his... I forget what type of pants these are called, but the pants that he wears, so that way it looks like they have, his standard ruffles and everything. You can see up to his leg, up to about his shin. His feet are standard white with a little bit of paint to show the sandals. You got the black sandals here. I actually like these better than the regular straw ones that normal Soul Reapers or Shinigami, if you're watching this sub, wear. I love how they give these figures toe bends. I absolutely love that. You have the detailing in his arms. His arms are rather skinny, but Ichigo himself is a very skinny character. You can see that there is some painted detail here in the palms of his gloves. The gloves are gray. The back of them are black with some white painted detail in it. I think on mine, the painting is a little screwy right here on the edge. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, if it even wants to show it at all. On his forearms, you have this white painted kind of like arm guard looking pieces. And let's get a close look at his face here. You guys can, I don't know how well you guys can see that. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Doesn't really want to focus today. There we go. You have a very beautifully painted face. You can actually see all the details in his face. That's his standard, I wouldn't say smug, but kind of scowling standard face. The detailing in his hair, his orange painted hair, is actually very good. It looks just like you would expect it to in the anime. On the back of his neck, you have these little bands that are painted on. And I like it. I do like it. I don't really have many gripes about this figure. I don't think I have actually any gripes. You have his belt, which is a white molded piece. This part is, again, the rubbery plastic. Yeah, I don't really think I have any negatives about this figure in particular. You got great articulation as standard with S.H.Figuarts. The head is on a ball joint. Pull that. Oops. Didn't mean to take his whole face off, but yeah, you can. Well, I didn't mean to take the ball joint with it, but yep, you can see that it has a ball joint right there. It just pops right back into his neck. I guess you could say that's kind of a gripe. The hinge joint that the neck is on is kind of flimsy, so it's kind of hard to push his face back down. But aside from that, he's got good range of motion in his neck. He can look down pretty far, more than a standard human can. He can look up about this far. He has torso bend. It's on a ball joint, which can act as a swivel. It can't go all the way around, mostly because of this whole section right here, which is fine. It's not really supposed to. So, again, I don't know why you would want it to do that. His arms here are on a butterfly joint. They can bend about that far in. And I wouldn't even really call this gap here a gripe, because it's not really that noticeable. Especially if you're posing him from the front, you're not really going to see that gap in the back. You know what I mean? Excuse me. You have the hinge bend right here on his shoulder, which can bend his arm all the way up. And of course, you can spin it 360 degrees, as with most figures. His shoulder, his bicep has a bit of a swivel here. Not a bit of a swivel, that is a swivel. You have your standard double bend at your elbow on both arms, of course. Ball joint on the hands. Every ball joint acts as a swivel. There is no waist swivel because, actually, you know what? There might be. Yep, there is. I'm sorry, there is. Not a very good review coming right back. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, goes all the way around. His legs can't go back far because of his jacket, but doesn't really necessarily need to. They can go out about this far. They have a pretty decent, actually a very decent spread with his jacket, and his jacket actually pushes completely out of the way, as you can see right there. You have swivel on both legs, which go all the way around. You have, believe it's not a double bend. It's just a single bend at his knee, which, because of this opening in the back here, actually bends back pretty far, which I think is fantastic. You get him into a lot of good poses with that kind of bend. Ankles, his shins do not move whatsoever. They are stuck in place in there. But you have his ankle, which has great pivot, great articulation in the ankle. Again, I mentioned the toe bend earlier, which I think is fantastic on a lot of figures. So that's pretty much all I can say for Ichigo himself until we get into more of his poses and more of his accessories and stuff. Again, I love the painted detail on his face. They gave him a gorgeous, gorgeous looking face. You can see all of the details in there. I don't think there's any kind of problems with it. Yeah, you might not be able to notice because his face is so small. But again, it's fine to me. I think it's okay. So for the figure itself, I'm definitely going to rate him a 9 out of 10. The only thing that I could say, that could probably be better is if they didn't have this kind of plastic mold for his legs. I'm not the biggest fan on how it looks, but I understand why it looks the way it looks. So let's go ahead and take a look at Tensa Zangetsu, this insanely long blade. It is on a piece of flexible rubbery plastic, but I wouldn't bend it too much. I wouldn't put too much strain on it because you don't want this blade to snap. The hilt, I gotta say, Ichigo's hilt is probably one of my favorites on all, just because I love the really cool design on it. I'm not exactly sure what this symbol means in Japanese culture. I forget. I did hear about it once, but I currently can't remember. And the handle, the pommel of, not the pommel, the actual handle of the blade is done in this great, I don't know how well you guys can see that because my camera doesn't want to cooperate today. Let's see if we can get it to focus. There we go. So it's done in this red, black plastic, but I don't know how well you can see it, but there are red diamonds all down the front and the back of it that are painted, and I love this free hanging chain, because that again is a crucial part of Ichigo's character and his design and his powers. And they could have easily just put a plastic chain that was like in this kind of a shape that would just stay there. They could have easily done that, but instead they chose to put an actual metal piece of a chain, which is free hanging. So as he's moving, the chain is free flowing and everything like that. I absolutely love that detail. So the sword by itself, 100% 10 out of 10. They nailed the detail on this sword. There's nothing bad that I can say about that. So let us move on to his accessories, and then we'll go into further detail from there. So, here we go with his accessories. You get 4 separate faces, and all together, you get a grand total of 8 hands. You have, obviously, the one sword-holding hand that I already have on my figure on the right hand. You also get one for the left hand. So, in case he wanted to, hold his sword with 2 hands if he's coming down for, like, an upward strike. You get 2 open palm hands, which are kind of standard in most figures. You always get like an open palm type hand. They're all done in the same type of plastic. The black on the front, the black on the back of the hands, gray on the palms, and then the white painted ribbons. You get 2 closed fist hands, which again, they're very tiny, so you don't want to lose those. And you have the regular resting hand that I have on mine, and you also get one for the right hand too, and they're just plain resting hand. There's not much to say about the hands. They're, like I said, they're your standard hands that you would get in most figures. As for the faces, you get a few different faces. You get this kind of side-eyed, surprised face, like, oh my god, where did you come from? You get an angry, yelling face if he's coming down for an attack, probably like a Getsuga Tensho. And then these 2 faces, I really can't see a difference in them. I don't know if it was an error in my packaging, but these 2 look exactly the same. I can't see any difference. He's not smirking in one. He's not doing a different eye pose. No, everything looks exactly the same. So I'm not sure if that was a problem in my packaging or what. So in order to replace any of his faces, it's very simple. You just pull his face off here, and then you take this part off from the front of his hair, and then you would just take whichever face you want to put in, plug it into this tab right here. Each one of them have a little tab on the top of the head. You would plug it right into there on the head with the hair, and plug it right back in there, and boom, there you go. And I think that this is actually a really good face, especially for an attacking pose. So, yeah, that's what I think about this one. And yeah, there is my review on Ichigo Kurosaki in his full-bring Bankai state. Yeah, there's nothing really negative I have to say about him. I mean, I guess the only negative I can really think of is the fact that he's kind of weirdly shaped. Like, his legs are very thick and his upper body is very thin. So it's very hard to, like, keep him in a standing pose. Not very hard, but it does get challenging from time to time. And again, like, because of the fact that his face is so small, it's very hard to see the details in his face directly, like, looking directly at it. So, I mean, it's got its positives, it's got its negatives. Nothing in this world is perfect, but I gotta say, I very much love this figure, and I definitely want to get more of the Bleach S.H.Figuarts toys. So, thank you guys for watching this review. Stay tuned for next week. We'll be reviewing another toy. Not exactly sure what toy it's going to be, but we'll see when that road comes. So, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for watching. Please do not forget, if you have not done it already, subscribe if you enjoyed this video so that way you don't miss future videos. Please ring the Eternal Ranger bell so that way you get notifications on all of my future videos posted. And I will see you guys next week. Have a great night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and may the power protect you. Have a great night, guys.